of the 6-day workshop, Research and Ethics, Publication Ethics, organized by the Department of Education, Mangalore University. And here we have with us the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Subramania Yadapaditaya Sir, Syndicate Member M.S. Selva Sir, Dr. Gerald Sandosh D'Souza Sir, the Dean, Faculty of Education, Dr. Shashikala Ma'am, the Advisor, Department of Education, and today's resource person, Dr. Jagannath K. Dange Sir, and other dignitaries. Please welcome the guests with a round of applause. I request our coordinator, Chidanda A.L., to kindly accompany the guest onto the stage. Please, sir. Please give a round of applause for the dignitaries. It is a gracious and auspicious occasion for all of us. A warm good morning to the galaxy of intellectuals on the dais and off the dais. I, Lami MC, Teaching Faculty, Department of Education, Mangalore University, take this proud privilege to be the master of ceremony for this 6-day workshop on Research and Publication Ethics organized by the Department of Education, Mangalore University. When humans turn their face to God, they find sunshine everywhere. So, let us begin the magnificent day with a higher thought by turning towards God through a prayerful atmosphere. I would like to call upon our eminent students to lead us into prayers. Participants, kindly be seated with a prayerful spirit and kindly keep your mobiles on mute.
O Gurudeva, ni chinmaya roopa, ee vishwada chalanige preraka shilpiyu neenu, ee chanchala jagatige nishchita guriyu neenu. O Gurudeva, preetiya tara, aaptanu neene, bandhuvu neene. O Gurudeva, ni chinmaya roopa, satyadarshaka neene, satyapurnanu neene, sarvavyapiyu neene, vishwajyotiyu neene. Satyadarshaka neene, satyapurnanu neene, sarvavyapiyu neene, vishwajyotiyu neene. शांतिदातनु नीने, आत्मप्रिय नीने, मुक्तिदायक नीने, हृदयवंत नीने, नी जीवा भावा नीने देवा. ओ गुरुदेवा, नी चिन्मय रूपा, ई विश्वद चलनेगे प्रेरक शिल्पियु नीनु, ಚಂಚಲ ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ ಗುರಿಯು ನೀನು. ಓ ಗುರುದೇವ, ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ತಾರ, ಆಪ್ತನು ನೀನೇ, ಬಂಧುವು ನೀನೇ. ಓ ಗುರುದೇವ, ನೀ ಚಿನ್ಮಯ ರೂಪ. ಓ ಗುರುದೇವ, ನೀ ಚಿನ್ಮಯ ರೂಪ. ಓ ಗುರುದೇವ, ನೀ ಚಿನ್ಮಯ ರೂಪ.
Thank you so much, eminent students, for leading us into prayers. Welcoming is a kind gesture of accepting. Our Indian tradition upholds the principle of welcoming. I would like to invite Dr. Chidananda A.L., Coordinator, Department of Education, Mangalore University, to formally welcome the dignitaries. Over to you, sir.
Good morning to one and all present here. At the outset, first, I would like to welcome you all to this 6-day workshop on Research and Publication Ethics organized by the Department of Education, Mangalore University. Respected Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University, Professor P. Subramania Edapaditaya, sir. Dr. M.S. Talwar, Syndicate Member, Mangalore University. Dr. Gerald Santosh D'Souza, Dean, Faculty of Education, Mangalore University. Today's resource person of the workshop, Dr. Jagannath Dange, Professor of Education, Kuvempu University, Shivamogga. Dr. Shashikala, Advisor, Department of Education. Respected faculty of all deans, Mangalore University. Respected chairmen and faculty members of PG departments and directors of different study centers and wings, Mangalore University, guest faculties, PhD research scholars, my dear colleagues, all participants of the workshop, invitees, M.Ed students and well-wishers. We, the member of the Department of Education, Mangalore University, are delighted to host the present 6-day workshop on research and publication ethics on this campus. At the outset, we are grateful to our Vice Chancellor and Registrar for giving us this opportunity to conduct this event. Thank you very much, sir. Our Department of Education is just 5 years old. It has come to existence as a result of long and painstaking efforts of the officials of university for which the citizens of Mangalore and the surrounding districts are highly grateful. 4 batches of M.Ed students and about 500 B.Ed open and distance learning students have passed out of this department. The department organizes several workshops for the student every year, and this workshop is another occasion to grow professionally for all of us. Responding to the needs of academicians and professionals is the focus of any dynamic university, and hence our university has identified this theme for the present workshop. Publication ethics is one of the very important aspects of research, and hence this topic has been included as a mandatory paper to be studied by the student for PhD coursework. Having organized this need, and present workshop caters to the need of all those who are entering the field of research, and we organizing members of the workshop request all the participants to make the best use of this occasion. On this occasion, I express my wholehearted gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Subramania Edapaditaya, sir, who is a great orator, genius, academician, authentic professional, more than anything a real human person, for being with us today to inaugurate as well as presided over the function. Dear sir, I welcome you wholeheartedly to this workshop. Any academic endeavor needs a godfather who guides, mentors, instructs with love and affection, and boosts with growth of the institution. Dr. M.S. Talwar sir is such a godfather of all education departments in Karnataka and especially for us. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting to be with us and delivering the keynote address, sir. I welcome you to this event with sincerely gratitude and joy. Dr. Santosh D'Souza, sir, we cherish your guidance and we are happy to be with you, to work with you. I thankfully remember your cooperation and support. I hearty welcome to you, sir. A sincere welcome to the resource person of the day, Dr. Jagannath Dange. I thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. I affectionately welcome the advisor of our department, Dr. Shashikala Madam, for her guidance and support throughout the journey of the department. A heartfelt welcome to you, madam. A hearty welcome to faculty of all deans, chairmen and faculty members of all PG departments, directors of different study centers and wings, other officials of Mangalore University. A warm welcome to all participants of the workshop. You are all focus of this workshop. You gave us a chance to grow. Please make the best use of this workshop. A hearty welcome to guest faculties, PhD research scholars, my dear colleagues, invitees, MAd students and all well-wishers. Once again, thank you, welcome one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And hearty welcome to you all also, sir. I request Chaitra to give a floral welcome to Dr. Chidanda Ayer, the Department Coordinator of Department of Education. It is a privileged moment for us, the Department of Education, to organize such a splendid 6-day workshop on research and publication ethics. To brief the significance of this workshop, I kindly invite Dr. Gerald Santosh D'Souza, sir, the Dean Faculty of Education, Mangalore University, and the Director of Physical Education. Sir, please.
A warm good morning to each and every one of you. The respected dignitaries on the dais, our Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor P.S. Edapadithaya, the keynote speaker as well as the syndicate member, as well as Dr. Chidanda said, you can call him the grandfather of education, I can say. And he has been a driving force and a mentor for the education department, Professor Talwar. And the keynote speaker of today, Dr. Jagannath Dange of Kuvempu University. The advisor of the MA department, Professor Shashikala, and the coordinator, Dr. Chidand, all the faculty members of various departments, and especially you, my dear research scholars. It gives me great pleasure to talk to you today. So many research scholars over here. Research scholars coming together is a rare occasion. And so I think it is good for us so that since research scholars of various streams have gathered over here from science, arts, humanities, social sciences, I think it is a good interactive session for all of you during the next 6 days. Let me brief you about the 6 days workshop theme. And the theme is about ethics in research and publication. Well, ethics is a most commonly said word. In broad sense, it means the moral values. You might say that we have been getting moral values from our childhood days in schools, in colleges, what we should do, what we should not do. So what is great about this ethics? Why are we now learning about ethics? As you know, when it comes to profession, ethics takes on a different meaning. Ethics is different for different fields of study, and for each one, the ethics might be different, depending on his experience or his nature of work. For example, we in sports, we have got different ethics. Not taking drugs is ethics. Whereas in science, maybe how you look at how you treat the subjects, the animals and ethical committees, you've got, those are ethics. Same thing, there are different ethics for different profession, different streams of study. And research is no such, even research we have got certain kind of ethical behavior. And if you can broadly define ethics in research, it means the application of moral principles to all the research methodology, to selection of subjects, how you do your research, and how the research will help the society, or even how to write the research and what kind of references will be used. There are so many aspects of research for which each one has got certain kind of ethical values. In recent times, ethical issues of research is making huge waves throughout the research world. And I'm saying recent times because in our time, maybe around 15, 20 years, there was nothing such as ethics in research as such. But recently we can see that even the UGC has come upon with a compulsory mandatory second paper in coursework that is about ethics, how to maintain ethical behavior in research. Well, let me say a few things about in life, as a principle of life. When something is given to someone, something is taken away. A person who has got all the talents may not have interest in, for example, if he has talent in sports or if he has got good physics, he may not have interest in taking up sports. Only the people who are short may be going for volleyball. Same thing in everything, we take things for granted. And you can say, even I have seen, even in teaching fraternity, many years back when teachers were getting just a handful of salary, they used to give fee to the students, at least 10-20% of it. But now when we get more, we are scared of letting go of it. We want to keep it to ourselves. Same thing is happening in research field also. If I can compare that to research field also, now research has become very easy compared to the past. I can remember my own days when I traveled to Gwalior, because physical education there were very few institutes where they had references or resource materials. I had to travel to Gwalior. Of course, I had an opportunity, so I traveled. I think many other fields also, whether it is commerce or science, I think they had to go to different universities and write down the references. But now things have become so easy. I think you can sit here only and do research, other than going to laboratories for data. Otherwise, you can just sit, because you can get multitude of research in your whether it is Google, whether references. You can open the library in your own house. In laptops, and you can converse. You can have communication with your experts or resource persons over video calls or something like that. So research has become so easy. And as I said before, when things are becoming easy, our practice does not become that much fair, you can say. Our practice also becomes easy. That is a fact of life. Because when things have become easy, we should have done much better. We should have been more dedicated, or our research should have gone to higher extremes. But now what has happened is, it has become so commonplace research. Research has become a mini postgraduate department, you can say. Before, there were very few resource persons. And the reasons for this might be that research or PhD degree has become mandatory for everyone, even to get a job. All are not cut out for research. I'm sure all of you agree. Maybe some have got economic problems, some have got financial problems, some have got problems at home, and some don't have aptitude for research. But now everyone is forced to do research for his livelihood. So all these factors have, more often than not, maybe voluntarily people do certain things which are against the ethics of research, and sometimes people are unaware of what they should do to have a good research and have a good research paper. So easy things, as I said before, easy things make people look for easier ways to do research. So this is where this workshop comes into play here. So, but I'm sure, I understand that many of the research scholars, including myself, because I said in our time this research ethics was not much known, but now even we are coming across so many tools and devices and methods of how to make our research good. Many of us are not aware. Without being inadvertently, we try to do research, and when we finish the research, we realize that the research is not up to the mark because of certain things which we didn't know, which we didn't follow. And though, so going further, one more aspect of research is the publication. Publication process is very important. See, research should lead to publication, right? If there is no publication, I don't think research is of any value, because what you do in research is being expressed or is being shown in your publication. And as you know, publication in different streams, whether it be in science or humanities or social sciences, have got their own rules about how you should publish, how you should create a paper, how you should write a paper. And also, recent things have come like, plagiarism and many things, duplication of work, And as I said before, how you treat the subjects, and there are a lot of ethical things which you should follow while treating the subject, while selecting the subject. We should see that they should not put in danger. How many of us know that? And I know many research scholars, we have been doing work, but many times we do not give them a form where they accept that, disclosure form where they accept that I accept the risk and I understand. We do not even tell the subject, these are the things which are going to do for you and you have to accept the risk. Even that we do not follow. Actually, those are all the important things which we have to do in order to get validation for your work. If you see the international papers, everywhere they'll tell disclosure form or a form of acceptance they have to give, and certain methodology is followed. But maybe we are not aware of it, or we are, because of lack of time, we do certain things which might harm us later on. So, this workshop on research and publication ethics, I think, is an eye-opener, is one of the important steps which the Department of Education has taken. Department of Education is a small department. Small is always good because interaction can be done much better among the students. And this is one of the big programs for them which they have come forward to give to you all, because since education has got a subject of ethics in it, and education is intricately combined or intricately woven with ethics, and they have got a subject, and they have come forward to give you the information, give you the guidelines of how you can do your research following certain ethics, so that your research can be better and mistakes can be avoided. So the researchers would do well to take the finer points from this workshop and inculcate them in their research. One more thing I would like to add, like you see you have come over here out of your own accord, because this is very important to you. Please see that all the 6 days you listen to the resource person speaking. We have got, I think the Department of Education has brought in together experienced resource persons to talk about this workshop, about the different aspects of this workshop. And as the Dean of this education faculty, I congratulate Dr. Chidananda, the Coordinator, Department of Postgraduate Studies in Education of this university, and all the faculty members who have involved themselves in bringing this workshop together and providing an opportunity for the research fraternity of this university, as well as resource persons from other areas of this state who have come over here. And I also congratulate all you participants for participating in this workshop, and wish that you immensely benefit from this workshop and use the fruits of the discussions, of the interactions among yourselves, so that you can adopt it in your thesis or in your research work. With these few words, once again, I wish you all the best, and I thank the organizers for giving the opportunity to speak. Thank you very much.
Just as Gerard said, this workshop should be an eye-opener for all of us, the researchers. And as he said, the things are very easy for us. So make this opportunity in order to work harder and make it better. Thank you so much, Gerard sir, for your kind words and just briefing about the significance of the day, the 6 days workshop. Now moving on to the most awaited ceremony, lighting the lamp, formally inaugurating. Light is a symbol of knowledge, is a symbol of removal of darkness, of ignorance. Now, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. P. Subramania Edapati sir will be inaugurating the function by lighting the lamp. I request all the dignitaries also to accompany him. He is a native of Koppara, Dakshina Kannada district, is currently the 9th Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University. He graduated from the first batch of postdoctoral Department of Commerce, securing first rank and a gold medal MCom in the year 1982 from Mangalore University. He also completed his doctorate in consumer behavior from the same university in the year 1992. He did his postdoctoral research from Nottingham Business School, Nottingham Trent University, England during 2001-2002 under the Commonwealth Fellowship Scheme. He is currently a member of Committee State Universities for drafting uniform calendar for academic events, appointed by Karnataka State Higher Education Council, Government of Karnataka. He is also the member of the committee to revamp evaluation system in higher education in the state, appointed by Karnataka State Higher Education Council, Government of Karnataka. He is also on the Board of Management of Karnataka State Open University, KSU. He worked as an assistant professor, trainer and consultant at a National Institute of Training for Industrial Engineering, Mumbai during the year 1994-1995. He has published more than 50 research papers in national and international journals of repute. He has successfully supervised 23 PhD scholars in the area of human resource management, human resource development, and marketing during his 4 decades of postgraduate teaching and research experience. He is also the proud recipient of eLearn International Award 2003 from Scotland, UK, and Divan Mehta National Award for Best Teacher in Human Resource Management in the year 2009. Dr. R. Sudarshan Memorial Lifetime Achievement Award for National Achievers Administration and Education in 2020. He has served as the Finance Officer, Registrar of Evaluation and Registrar of Mangalore University, gathering administrative experience of nearly 10 years. I, with much reverence, invite our dear Honorable Vice Chancellor to address the gathering. Sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. My salutations to all my teachers and the people who inspired me till date. Esteemed keynote speaker and our honorable syndicate member of my university and my well-wisher Dr. M.S. Talwarji, distinguished resource person Dr. Jagannath K. Dange, the Dean, the Faculty of Education, and my friend Dr. Gerald Santosh D'Souza, Advisor, the Department of Education of my university, Dr. Shashikala K. A. Professor K.R. Sridhar, a distinguished scholar, Professor Sripada, Dr. Haridas Kulur, and other members of my teaching fraternity, the research scholars, part-time, full-time, and sometime middle time, the conveners of this 6-day workshop on research and publication ethics. I am extremely delighted to inaugurate this 6-day workshop on research and publication ethics. It is not 1 day or 2 day or 3 day, 6 days. So it is a kind of sumptuous meal, not piecemeal, but it's a sumptuous meal. Another important point to be noted by all of us is, it is not a seminar or conference, it's a kind of workshop wherein you are expected to get hands-on experience, a kind of lived-in experience. Therefore, you have to be very, very careful in making the best of all moments of truth which you will get during this 6 days workshop. Thanks to University Grants Commission for having introduced research and publication ethics as one of the mandatory papers for these researchers. During our days, we used to lay our hands on research methodology book after getting the PhD. It's of no use. Having committed several mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, not only mistakes but blunders. Later on, what is the point? Later on, we'll invite problems and come to grief. It's only regret. Therefore, we have to prepare ourselves. Never put the cart before the horse. Begin with the end in your mind. That is what Stephen R. Covey says in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Those 7 habits could be the effective habits of a researcher also. For example, begin with the end in your mind. You must know the destination before you board into a bus. Destination is very, very important. Begin with the end in your mind. Second, be proactive. Not non-active, not even reactive, but proactive. Sense the problems before they occur. The third habit is nothing but put first things first. As a researcher, there should be a sense of priority and urgency. After wearing all these things, then if I am reminded of Rupa Banyan, what is the use? I have to undress myself, then again, start from the beginning. Wear Rupa Banyan. Therefore, sense of priority and urgency is very, very important, third habit. Fourth habit is think win-win. Because I should win, my peer level researcher should win, my research guide should win, my research community should win, the entire research world should win. It's a kind of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The ideology of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. See, that is what I say, win-win philosophy. If you are adopting a wrong philosophy like I should win, you should lose, it's a kind of win-lose. Then it leads to what we call another secondary infection called lose-win. The third infection is nothing but lose-lose. The fourth stage of cancer in this connection is, because death is certain, fourth stage. So it means no deal, walking out from the research field. Very, very dangerous. It is deadly syndrome. Therefore, ideally it should be win-win. The next habit is nothing but seek first to understand, then to be understood. Many people, they sit in the workshop because I am also a kind of trainer. I know. Because there is no preparedness in your mind to accept new things. Unless you empty the cup, at least partially, I cannot pour new coffee or new ingredients onto your cup. You have to create a new thinking space in your mind. It means you have to unlearn what you have wrongly learned all these days, relearn new things and get yourself continuously committed to the process of learning, improvement and development. LID, L-I-D. Learning, improvement and development. So unless you are predisposed to this kind of openness, open mind, it's not possible. Therefore, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Beautiful. Then Stephen R. Covey says, synergize. The sixth habit. Synergize means 1 plus 1 must be equal to 3. Because you are laying your hands into several books, several reference material, you get involved in consultative process, you meet your fellow researchers, you meet not only your guide. In my case, I have successfully supervised 23 PhDs, another 3 or PhDs are in the line. I don't take any credit because my philosophy is nobody is working under me. A research scholar is not working under somebody, working with. See the difference. Why are you late? And how come you are late? Entirely different. The predisposition is entirely different. Your attitude is entirely different. A kind of openness, open mind, open attitude. Therefore, synergy, it could be negative also. 3 persons can join together to destroy a place of worship. But the same 3 persons can join together to construct a new place of worship. What I am trying to impress upon you is that I am not referring to negative synergy called negargy in my language. It is not there in the dictionary, sorry. But I am focusing on positive synergy, a kind of win-win, mutually acceptable, long-lasting, constructive, result-oriented, progressive, enlightened relationships in the entire process of doing research. There are two sides of the same coin. One is process of doing research, the other one is the results. Based on my little experience of guiding some 23 PhDs and others till now, I can say that, if you take good care of the process, the results will come to you automatically. Karmanyavadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. The religious scriptures will tell you that. In Islam it says, what do you call? Inshallah, O Lord, advance me in knowledge. Advance me in knowledge. In Upanishads, it says that knowledge is light. Ajnanadinda sujnanada kadage, from darkness to the light. So it means you are getting enlightened. The process is very beautiful. Without your knowledge, you are getting enlightened. That's a kind of inbuilt mechanism in the robust process or the rigorous process of pursuing your doctoral research. Therefore, synergy is very, very important. Last habit of a researcher, according to Stephen R. Covey, of course, yes, he said 7 habits of highly effective people. I am replacing effective people by what you call effective researchers. Last is sharpen the saw. SAW. It is not the past tense of SEE. Sa means in Kannada we call it garagasa. So it means sharpen the saw means, Stephen R. Covey in his own style he says, you may not consume more than 15 minutes to cut the wood with the help of the saw, but remember you must have invested at least 15 hours to sharpen the saw. But as research guides, are we sharpening our saw? As a researcher or a fellow researcher, are we engaging, not indulging? Negative word. Are you engaging in the process of sharpening ourselves? Are we becoming smarter than ever before? Are we learning by committing past mistakes so that we shall not repeat those mistakes? Are we resolving ourselves? So these are the habits, beautiful habits. In this 6-day workshop, you are going to understand each and every moment of truth. Research and publication ethics. 3 things are very, very important. The key words in the title of the workshop itself. Research means, according to me, research. You have to dissect research into 2 pieces. Research. It means what? Search it again and again until you succeed. The world is imperfect. And it is full of uncertainty. Our job is to reduce the area of uncertainty. You cannot eliminate it. It's impossible. So it means we are also having imperfections within us as a researcher. As a research guide, I am also not perfect. Therefore, we are focusing only on excellence. Excellence means putting your best foot forward, not perfection. Japanese will always call it 70% perfection is enough, never fail to act. Come on, do it. Never develop cold feet, never procrastinate. You do it. It is not, today is not the answer. Now, this moment itself is the answer. So it means research. In order to do this kind of process, research, every researcher will have to develop a mindset called questioning mindset. As a teacher, I used to tell in my class to my students, only when you ask question to me, you can find real teacher in me inside. It means looking inside out, or insider looking in, or insider looking out, or outsider looking in. So this process, questioning mindset, are you questioning unquestionable things? Are you getting out of comfort zone? Then only you can effectively engage in the process of searching it again and again until you succeed. Swami Vivekananda said, arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is reached. But unfortunately, most of the researchers do not know what is their goal, what is the destiny, what is the destination. Process will go waste. Therefore, this kind of research is very, very important. It requires a lot of perseverance. Then publication. Of course, publication means, most of the research scholars will focus on quick publication. Somehow publication. Never do somehow publication, or do not be after what you call quick publication. Quantity is not important. Quality. I have published only 50 papers, that's all. I could not write a book. 3 times I signed the call sheet. But I acted in the educational film when I was in Mumbai. How to Learn Management from Your Wife, Part 2. Directed by Sharu Rangnekar, who is no more now. But still I could not write. Every time I think of writing a book, I develop cold feet. Because before writing a book, you have to read so many things. You have to internalize, you have to digest, you have to question. You have to introspect, you have to retrospect. You have to look beyond the obvious, look beyond the horizon. It is not that easy job. It is not copying, airlifting certain things from another book. It is reading 13 books and producing the 14th book as your own book. So I do not have the guts till date to do that. I am not discouraging others. I am expressing my helplessness to write a book. So it means quantity is not important, quality. For example, a celebrity is there, here only sitting in the audience. You may not make out whether he is a celebrity, because under promise, over perform has been his strategy. That is none other than Professor K.R. Sridhar. I got a lot of inspiration from this gentleman when I was a junior teacher here. I used to visit his lab during the evening. So I felt lab is better than a classroom, even though I belong to the commerce faculty. Because such a wonderful human being. He was doing hardcore research. I used to enjoy the tenacity with which he was doing his research. No shortcuts, because he used to tell me, when you are after shortcuts, they will cut you short without your knowledge. No pains, no gains. Kai kesaradre bai mosaru. No regrets. Enjoy the process of doing research. Enjoy the process of writing paper. Double blind review, peer review. Double blind. I published several papers through double blind review process. Very painful. You have to wait for a year's time. The paper will come back to you again and again. But you will be enlightened. You will be made more alert than ever before, because the topmost experts will give the comments. Don't feel bad. My first candidate's research thesis was rejected, not rejected, reviewed by, asked for revision by UK examiner. People said, oh, Edapadithaya, thinking great, but he could not deliver successful guidance in the first case. I never got discouraged. Converting waste into wealth. I developed a beautiful contact with that gentleman of University of Leeds, UK. Paul Levinson, Then he only motivated me to apply for postdoctoral research. He only suggested Nottingham Business School. In the end, he became a bearer of bad news. In a beautiful word, he said, there is no time for me, there is no space in my University of Leeds, UK, but I am suggesting a better person than what I am, that is Professor Jim Stewart of Nottingham, Trent University, Nottingham Business School. He also put a word to Jim Stewart. Happily accepted. So God was very kind enough to me. First, it was rejected by India, accepted by UK. Second time, I could see that, I could succeed at the Indian level, University Grants Commission level. It's a 7-member committee, something like that. So it's a kind of, success. Nothing succeeds like success. Remember, I also experienced several failures. At the same time, nothing fails like failure. Therefore, publication, focus on quality publication. Understand your expectations. Take guidance from others. Go through the editorial guidance. Get inspiration from people like Professor K.R. Sridhar and other people on the campus and off the campus, something like that. Then comes ethics. Because today, getting PhD is only beginning of doing research. It is only a license to do PhD. This 2.5 letter word, PH, 1.5, then D, one more letter, 2.5 letter word. It should not inject a kind of complacency attitude on your part or a kind of arrogance. Hum kisi se kam nahi. Or putting doctor, as a prefix to your name everywhere. It will happen 1 or 2 days as soon as you get your doctoral degree. Later on you will come to know you are not a doctor, you are a patient. As soon as you realize it is good for your health, still I am a patient as far as the research is concerned. Even after my postdoctoral research in UK. So the point is that kind of urge should be there. It should emerge from the bottom of your heart. Then only you can engage in the process called continuous learning, improvement and development. And today research must focus on what you call outcome based, not the output based. 350 pages. Your thesis should not be more than 300 pages, 275 to 300, the Indian of Science standard. Otherwise you will produce a bulky thesis. Nobody will put their hands on that. So the point is outcome based, the end results of your work of 4 years or 5 years or sometimes 6 years. Then means ends relationship. Means means the process. Whether it is ethical, morally defensible or morally indefensible. The difference between right and wrong, sometimes right, sometimes wrong. The middle path. Or is there any third way? So means ends relationship, and every researcher, if he or she is a true researcher, you will come across several ethical issues and dilemmas while pursuing research. It may be referred to what you call animal ethics committee or human ethics committee. In spite of these committees, what is your inner conscience? You must always listen to your inner voice, and you must watch carefully your inner ethical compass for directions. Therefore, you will not be liberated from the problem of experiencing ethical issues and dilemmas in research, whether it is faculty of science, arts, commerce or education. Therefore, here what I am trying to say that unethical research is certainly politically unwanted, economically wasteful, socially dangerous and morally indefensible. That's my conviction. I am speaking out of conviction. That being the case, 5 key elements are very, very important to guard you against unethical practices. First one is, the acronym is KASHV, Kash tu meri hoti to, KASHV. PhD will make you qualified in the form of a degree, just like a MCom or MSc or MA or MBB, another degree. Because National Education Policy 2020 is not focusing on qualification, but your credentials, outcome-based efforts, student learning experiences, feedback and learning outcomes, and continuous learning improvement and development. Nation first, character must. That is the punchline of NEP 2020. That being the case, here KASHV, remember that. K stands for knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Domain specific, application oriented knowledge. Even after getting a doctorate degree, you are not able to update yourself. You are not able to upskill yourself. You are not able to supervise another candidate. You are not able to figure out the real problem, the inner problem, the intrinsic dilemmas and how to come out of it. You will become helpless. Then what is the use of knowledge? Just like a heap of sands on the seashore? No. Therefore, K stands for application oriented domain specific knowledge. Then A stands for what you call attitude. Napoleon Hill in his book Think and Grow Rich says, your attitude will always determine your altitude. If you feel that you are weak, you will become weak and weaker or the weakest in the days to come. If you think I can, so I will. Therefore, attitude, take care of your attitude. Positive mental attitude is the major vitamin required to keep your body, mind and little soul in one place as a researcher. S stands for skills. With the same theoretical knowledge, with the same set of review of literature, with the same data, with the same information, with the same knowledge, devoid of wisdom, you will not come out with a distinct piece of research work. Therefore, it is individualistic nature. Research is science, art, and also a profession. Therefore, it is artistic in nature. You should be skillful. You have to acquire research skills. Whereas this workshop will give you hands-on experience. You will become more skillful than ever before. It could be, provided you make the best use of every moment of truth during the 6 days duration. Then comes yach. Yach means habits. See, the learning habits, questioning habits, looking beyond the horizon, that habits acquired during the process of pursuing your doctoral research, will you make a complete person? And later on, those habits are portable. It means you can carry them further forward to the place of work or your destination, so that it will be long lasting. Just like riding the bicycle, the moment you stop, you will fall down. Once you learn cycling or swimming, you will never forget until your last breath. Even if there may be several gaps of years, no problem. Again, when you start riding the bicycle, you will not fall down. You will do it. So this is lifelong skill, lifelong learning mission. Therefore, H stands for habits. We have to acquire those habits. That's very, very important. Last element here is we. In Bible, there is a holy scripture which reads like this: values left in our children touch their destiny more than valuables left to them. It is not fat bank balance. It is not Mercedes-Benz car. It is not 3 wives or 4 wives. It is not a bungalow, posh bungalow. So it means the values. Therefore, ethical values. Therefore, we had earlier anti-plagiarism software called Urkun. One of the foreign referees wrote in his comments, this thesis must have been screened through anti-plagiarism software. It reached my hand. Again, I used Turnitin on some software. 60% plagiarism report. But Urkun software cleared, saying that it is less than 10% or 20%. Now, we have got a robust software called Turnitin software. But the most robust software is inside you. Remember, Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. Inside you. That means you cannot cheat others without cheating yourself. Enemy lies within. So forget about this anti-plagiarism software. While airlifting or something like that, you mention from where you airlifted it. Be cautious, beware of dogs. 2 things. Be aware of dogs, then beware of dogs. So be aware of unethical practices and beware of unethical practices. The point is here, sometimes unethical practice is choosing the topic. I will always hate repetitive research. It should be refutative research, which will always refute false dogmas. Repetitive research, for example, in my field, marketing of chilies in Guntur district. Then the same topic, Gunturu, then Dakshina Kannada. Marketing of chilies in Dakshina Kannada district. Department of Applied Zoology, let us say, for example's sake, animal behavior. You remove that animal, insert human behavior. What will happen? There is a thesis like this, reported in one of the research magazine. So it's awfully bad, morally detrimental, and we cannot defend it. Therefore, if it is over-researched area, never do it. Either it should be unresearched or it is under-researched. Then only there is scope for doing research, because when you identify and define the research gap, you will come to know. Therefore, there are 4 possibilities as far as ethical side is concerned: doing right things wrongly, or wrong things rightly, or wrong things wrongly. Remember, it should be doing right things rightly, first time and every time. And no, because of the compulsion nowadays, It is not the day of mine or day of Professor Sridhar or Shripad. Now you have to do it, whether you like it or not. So it means many researchers entered into this field not by design but by default. Therefore, we are the caretakers, we are the conscience keepers at the university. We have to educate them, make them aware of all these possibilities. And finally, two things I would like to tell you before I wind up my inaugural address. The first thing is, there is no perfect driver in this world. Similarly, there is no perfect researcher in this world. A gentleman must have supervised 100 PhDs, 1000 publications with the wonderful impact factor or citation index or huge H index, Hirsch index. Could be. But you ask him, he will say, my 1001 PhD scholar is brand new for me. I am learning new things because I have unlearned all these days, all these things. That should be the real spirit. It means, still I am not perfect. You must admit, you must confess. But your focus is only on excellence. Doing whatever is possible, putting your best foot forward, giving your best without any cheating. So that is very, very important here. There is no perfect researcher, let us admit it. Similarly, there is no, only one research methodology applicable to all kinds of research. Therefore, today, when I adjudicate the thesis, I would like to see in that thesis, is there any innovative research design? Same old thing, same old lie, same old girl, same old hostel, same old warden, same old mistake committed by. Same old thing, it should be visualized with a different lens, kaleidoscopic view from different angles. That's very, very important. Therefore, you have to adopt innovative, robust research design that will undergo rigorous research process, which should be ethically fine-tuned. Of course, I know, let me come to the ground level. You cannot be 100% ethical, nor can you be 100% unethical. But your attitude should be minimum ethics. So with this, I am extremely delighted to inaugurate the 6 days workshop on research and publication ethics. Thank you very much for your time and opportunity. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
It is always interesting to listen to a good orator. Fortunately, when he becomes an academician, then it will be more motivating, just now we have seen. In order to reiterate what VC sir have just said, whether you like it or not, introspect yourself. Perfect yourself, not only yourself, help in order to perfect others also. Not keeping on quantity, but on quality. Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating words. Now, we can move on to the next session. I request Dr. Sister Christian Laura Pinto, the teaching faculty, Department of Education, to introduce our keynote addressee and the syndicate member, Dr. M.S. Talwar, sir, to the audience.
Respected dignitaries on the days and off the days, greetings of peace and happiness, wisdom and well-being to all. I'm privileged and humbled to introduce Professor M.S. Talwar, whose life have been revolved around the research scholars and research in the higher education academia. To be proud of you, sir, in the manner you accompany research scholars, wherein even myself is part of his shared knowledge and guidance, who has closely watched me grow as researcher in the field of education at RIE Mysore. Dr. M.S. Talwar is former professor and dean of the Department of Education, Bangalore University. After his superannuation, sir was the director of Inter-University Center for Teacher Education, MHRD, NCERT Delhi, based in RIE Mysore. Professor Talwar presently serves as a syndicate member of Mangalore University. Sir is able administrator and inspiring teacher. Out of 37 years of his teaching experience, 27 years of research experience will unfold his potentialities. He had been Dean, Chairperson, Director, UGC Academic Staff College and Register Evaluation. He is recipient of Best Teacher Educator Award and Yugadi Purushkaram State Award 2015. His publications include 17 authored and co-authored books and 63 research and thematic articles. Professor Talwar has guided 24 PhDs, 22 MPhil students, and 4 more are still pursuing PhD under him. He has completed 3 projects, organized 14 programs, and have presented papers as well as been resource person in 37 places. He has constructed 7 instructional material, participated in 54 seminars, symposiums, and workshops. He is a member of editorial board and advisory committee for 4 journals and delivered 23 special lectures on an international and national platforms. Professor Talwar is a teacher to teachers, educator to teacher education, and closely knows nuances of the educational administration. Respected sir, we are proud of you that you are of us and amidst us. We thank God for your beautiful person of both quality and of quantity. In front of this august gathering of learned and research scholars, I pay much pranams to you and to the teacher community the services that you have rendered. Do bless us with your blessings as you address us.
Dr. Subramanya Edabaditaya, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mangalore University. Dear Dr. D'Souza, esteemed Dean, Faculty of Education, Dr. Jagannath Donge, research person for this 6 days workshop on research and publication ethics, Dr. Shashikala, the founder of this department, if I say I am not wrong. Had she not been there, Mangalore University would have taken few more decades to have a Department of Education like this. When Dr. Shashikala was syndicate member of this university, has moved the syndicate and got approved for the establishment of this department. Since then, she is closely associated with the activities of this department and rendering her voluntary services, guidance, help in all respect. Dr. Chidananda, the coordinator of this department, esteemed members of teaching faculty of this department, research scholars, eminent professors of various departments of Mangalore University who are present for this auspicious occasion, participants from various institutes, teachers, research scholars, ladies and gentlemen. ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಭಯ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಇನಾಗ್ರಲ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅವಧಿ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ. ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಆಯಿತು. ನಾನೊಂದು ವುಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟು, ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟ್ರಿ, ಟ್ರೆಸರರು ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಇದು ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತು 7-8 ಜನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರು, ಎಜುಕೇಷನಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದರು. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ನ ಸರದಿ ಬಂತು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ವುಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಇದು. ನನಗೆ ಮುಜುಗರ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಹುಡುಗಿರಿಗೆ, ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಭಾಳ ಉದ್ದ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೊತ್ತು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹುಡುಗಿ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ತು, ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಾದರೂ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಸರ್, ಪಾಪ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಆಡಿಟೋರಿಯಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಇನ್ನು 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಉಳಿದದ್ದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅವೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ನಿಮಗಿಂತ ಅರ್ಜೆಂಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಇದೆ, ಆದರೆ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. I wholeheartedly appreciate the efforts of Education Department for initiating this move and making this marvelous event, providing a common platform for different research scholars who can share their topics, who can share their research problems, issues with their friends and colleagues. I had gone through the brochure which has been brought out. Is quite broader in terms of several dimensions of the research, maybe any discipline, may not be education or arts or science or commerce or whatever. Any research as an endeavor should have to have the basic requirements for completing a meaningful research. I am very happy that with the help of Dr. Shashikala Chidananda and his team, I have approached experts of various disciplines. Some experts, when I gone through, are really experts in the field of statistics, where most of our research findings depend on the statistical analysis on which we draw certain conclusions to say this is the finding, our major finding of this research. In the course of this 5 days workshop, the experts, research persons will share their abundant knowledge, expertise, and you can make use of their services even after the formal completion of this 5 days workshop. Most of them are accessible with their even website addresses. Even their telephones are also available. You can be in touch with them. I do not know because in what stage you are in terms of your research. Some of them may be in the beginning stage where you have just registered and completed your coursework. Some of you might have crossed the stage of designing methodology to be carried out your research. Some of you might be in the stage of the data collection, planning for field work, and some of you might be in the stage of analysis of the research data, so on and so forth. I do not know what stage you are, and therefore while planning my keynote address, I took different parameters which can be commonly applicable for every researcher, focusing on ethical component of the process of research. It's a very unique aspect in that way where does the question of ethics plays a pivotal role? Now, many a time I have seen research scholars initially approaching the eligible guides in their department, accepting interdisciplinary research. Sir, I want to do research under you. Is it? Yes. What is the area of your interest? On what topic you would like to do research? Sir, you suggest any topic, any area, I am prepared to do that. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಬಹಳ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹುತೇಕವಾಗಿ ಈ ಥರದ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ತರ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ. And if you start thinking about where does the role of ethics come? Am I competent to undertake this research task? According to me, is a basic, fundamental component of research ethics. When, in the year 1977 or so, I completed my M.Ed and I approached my professor to do research, and he said a single sentence, "No, you have a need for job. Definitely not research. You get a job, work for some years, then think of research." ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಆಯ್ತದೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಸಕ್ತಿನೇ ಬರ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿಕೊಂಡಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲವು ಸ್ವಭಾವಗಳಿಂದಾಗಿ, ಆಸಕ್ತಿಗಳಿಂದಾಗಿ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಎನ್ನುವಂಥ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರುವಾಯಿತು. Throughout my talk, wherever I cite examples, people from other discipline excuse me. I cite examples of educational research because I am comfortable with that. That will be home to me, so that I can wholeheartedly share my experience very sincerely. Many a time where the role of ethics come to a researcher while forming the hypothesis. In some cases it is called as research assumptions. In some cases it is called as research questions. In some researches it is called as research expectations. Now, more or less, the word hypothesis and research assumptions can help the researcher to what direction he or she can move on. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಕಲ್ಪನೆಗಳ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದರೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗುತ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ದಿಕ್ಕು ಯಾವುದೋ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. What for we are doing research? Objectives on one hand, research assumptions or hypotheses on the other hand. Say for example, in an educational research we talk so many times. Of course it is a matter of common concern. Academic achievement of the students. You are all teachers of higher education, and you think about the academic achievement of your students only at the time of seminars or writing examinations, or when you are valuing their papers, etc., etc. When we talk about academic achievement of primary and secondary school students, we generally look for, this is an important phenomenon in educational research. What all we do exercises, what all we do projects, they are all for enhancement of scholastic achievement, or what we call as academic achievement of our students. And thereafter several years of our experience over that, in the academic achievement, we form some assumptions in our mind. Boys excel well when compared to girls in their academic achievement. Urban students excel well when compared to their counterpart, the rural students.